Alrighty.
I'll
Cool.
do
Well,
horizontal, sorry, or
I'm sorry.
vertical. Oh, like the camera. I don't know if the camera makes a difference.
It looks good on this end.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, sorry to
No,
interrupt
no
you.
worries. No problem at all. Well, I'm really excited. We're finally able to, obviously we've been talking on and off for months now. My goodness, it's so cool to, have the project out. Finally, be talking about it like this. To go to the show last week was awesome. So, congrats on putting the project out. Maybe we could start by just like telling us a little bit about how it feels to have the work out, how it's gone, been received, kind of anything you're feeling, off the top, again, now that your project's out.
Yeah, I'm actually really happy that that it is out because it was giving me a whole lot of stress that I could not bear any longer. But also I'm really happy about it being out, aside from the stress levels of it. Just because I finally get to, I love putting music out and I love hearing people's reaction to it. And I've been getting good feedback. And I feel like this is, I mean, of course, everything I make, and of course, in the future, I feel like it'll just keep getting better. And I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with who I am and what kind of sounds I want to go for. And I feel like this is definitely a lane for me right now. So I'm really happy. I'm really excited.
Good. Well, it's well deserved. All the happiness and excitement and stress relief, super well deserved. I mean, I think just kind of going off the show's reception last week, people were fired up. Like, loved it. You had a heck of a turnout. The engagement I've seen on just Instagram with people posting, the songs and whatnot. I think you got a lot of fans out there. But also, kind of to your other point, I think you put out a tweet or something about like all of the things you had going on this year. It was like an
Oh,
internship, this project. So I certainly believe that just kind of taking something off the list goes a long way.
it does. And the book club you put together. Thank you.
Well, I mean, thank you for the support. It was really, you know, like I said, I think just for me personally, and maybe this is something you can empathize with, but like we spend so much time kind of in the weeds planning something, and then to just see how people engage with the project, mine or yours or whatever, in their day-to-day lives, is, even if just in these little moments, it's really cool. Just kind of like remove yourself from it a little bit. So anyway, I loved kind of having the little discussions and just hearing what people
Yeah,
think. It's really fun.
it is. It's so cute. I loved it so much.
Well, yeah. So maybe the first thing, maybe another question I can ask is, maybe what were some of the inspirations for the project? Like creative inspirations. Like, were you drawing on other artists, or like other art,
Uh,
or anything like that? Like, what inspires you to create your art?
so for this project, actually, I listened to a lot of different types of music. So ranging from country or pop, R&B, rock. I love like metal. So I think in this time period, I was listening to a lot of like rock and pop and a little bit of R&B, but I feel like music that makes me like feel.
Mhm.
Uh, so some artists I would listen to a lot, like during creating this project. One is a new music friend I made last year. His name is Christopher Kenji. I don't know if you've heard of him yet, but you got to check him out. He's he's awesome. So there's him. Madison Beer. She's like a pop artist. I
Mhm.
fucking love Demi Lovato. I I'm so happy her rock phase is coming back. Uh, what else? Who else? I feel like there's more people I listen to, but just like I think I just mostly listen to a lot of rock and pop, and yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a wide range, which is super cool. I'm curious, what like metal are you listening to?
I don't really know like artists. Like I'll literally just go on YouTube and type up like heavy metal playlists, and
That's rad.
have it play like in the background or something. Like it's it's kind of weird to some people. Maybe like some other people feel the same way, but with heavy metal, because I have been through very stressed, like how I said, I've been very, very stressed this past year, and listening to it like that kind of music calms me down.
Yeah, I totally get it. I don't it's not like in heavy rotation, and maybe like I don't have like a lot of metal, but I definitely have like hard punk rock and just like some really noisy stuff. So I can really I empathize with that. Like just having some something different make it
Yeah,
works.
it definitely does. Like I'll have a mental breakdown, I'll just be crying, and then I put that on, and it's like a lullaby. So it's so crazy.
Yeah, hey, whatever gets you there, right? That's all that matters. Um, okay, cool. So, and then the other thing I wanted to ask you. So, I think it, you got up on stage and performed your music last week, which is so cool.
Yeah.
If you were to give a piece of advice to an artist who wants to do that, put out their EP and perform, a show for their family and friends and fans, what little tidbits would you recommend?
I would recommend to just kind of just go for it. And you can start small. I started literally doing the music thing just by posting videos of I would get beats from YouTube, literally write songs to it. That's still what I do today. And I would just record myself, post it, get good feedback. And then that's how I met my friend Red, because he saw me on Instagram and he asked me to go to the studio at his house one day. So I was like, that's literally my starting point. And that's also Instagram is also how I met my label. So Just Breathe Studios. So I met B and Breathe from there. And you just gotta go for it, try to connect with people, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, right? Just putting it out there. And I was talking to Red at the show, and he told me that story. I was like, no way, it's so cool how those things come together. And I kind of similar. I haven't met Breathe in person, but we were just exchanging some DMs as part of this, as part of your album club.
Yeah.
And it's really incredible how far you can get by just putting something out there, just asking or making a brief intro or something. It goes a long way. So I'd echo that piece of advice.
You don't know if you don't try. So I'd rather live with regrets, or I mean, the worst thing someone could do is say no. And, you know,
Yeah, then you're
yeah,
in the same place. Yeah,
just got to go in.
yeah, yeah. Cheers to that. And so I'm kind of jumping around on the questions a little bit here, but so the premise of the album clubs we run is, every album is someone's favorite, and we want to basically find out why together. So as a group of fans, as a community, as we grow and all that kind of stuff. And one thing I find helpful is, what do you want with that kind of premise in mind? What do you want people to keep in mind as they listen to your project that may help them connect with it on another level, or that may elevate the listening experience in some ways? Or any, question, comment, consideration that people should, turn over a little bit as they listen?
Ah, that question, I'm not too sure. I mean, I feel like a lot of the music I make is kind of, a lot of people can relate to it. So, I mean, and a lot of the times people have like said, like, of course, like influencers or people that make music, like they just try to put out a persona that is unrealistic or
Mhm.
that's perfect. And I mean, with this album, I just want people to think that, or I want people to know that it's okay to be a little fucked up in the head. That's fine. It's okay to be normal. So I mean, and it's okay to go through like heartache or any negative feeling, really. Like, it's all part of life. Everyone feels feelings. So, I mean, take away that it's okay to be normal.
Yeah, it's expected, right? To your
Yeah.
point, normal that we all kind of have, a whole range of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's a great answer. Kind of just like set the framework for going into a listening, which is like it's okay for anything.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel is okay, normal, expected. I think that's like sort of a great entry point into the project. But again, kind of rapid firing questions at you here. Kind of going back to an earlier comment, like you have a ton going on right now: work, school, music, all this kind of stuff. How do you balance everything?
I don't. Going back to being normal, it's a struggle to balance life. I'm not a robot. I wish I was. I I don't know, like I'll be really good at like balancing one thing, like with school. Um I mean, I'm taking like one class this summer, but like when school, I was a full-time student, trying to balance work was rough. I didn't work as much as I would like to last semester, and I'm very broke. I feel like what I lacked the most last semester, or like a couple, even it was like a month ago or something when I finished, but I lacked my own like mental health and like
Mm.
physical being, because I didn't work out. I didn't eat as great as I should. I'd eat like once a day, or I wouldn't drink water for like 3 days. uh, what else? Okay, a little gross. I mean, I didn't really like wash my hair. I take like, okay, don't think I'm gross, but maybe like 3 or 4 showers in a week, because I was just so like, I was all over the place just trying to balance life. I brushed my teeth. That's important. I know people that haven't brushed their teeth for like a month because like mental health issues, but I brushed my teeth, so that's a good thing. But I mean, I literally did not take care of myself. I don't know if you saw my post from yesterday, but about like being selfish and like doing what makes you happy and taking care of yourself. I mean, I feel like in the past, oh yeah, we talked about it. In the past year, like of course, I've been doing like a lot of things for myself, like putting together like music and doing like photo shoots and like whatnot, but that takes a toll on me. And like, I just, I'm, today is probably the first day I've done some like self-care-ish things in a while, but yeah, I don't do well with balancing. Sorry, that was a whole like little ramble of nonsense.
Rambles are welcome and encouraged here.
Yeah,
um,
thanks for the safe space.
for sure. No, I mean, to your point, there's a couple things to follow up on there, but even kind of just to your last comment there about like today being the first day, and who knows how long that you've had like self-care. As we were scheduling this, we were trying to find a day, and you're like, oh yeah, Thursday's all open. And I was like, really? You have a full, that's incredible, you got so much going on. So anyway, I kid, but no, I think you're hitting the nail right on the head, right? When there's like so many things to do, you start to like cut corners and like look for things that can save little bits of time here and there. And it's like really, I struggle with the same stuff, which is like, oh man, I'll skip the exercise today, or just grab a quick bite. And it's like that short term versus long term kind of trade off, because it's easy in the moment, but it may be tough. Like, a week down the road, you may like feel that lack of exercise or whatever. And I empathize with that a lot. And yeah, I think it's like I'm realizing it's like a bona fide skill, the ability to balance and like tend to a lot of different things that
Yeah.
may be demanding, but also really helpful. Eating well, exercising, and all this kind of stuff. Like the real serious time management it's a real skill that people learn and develop over time.
I don't have that. I'm trying.
I totally I've actually been I found a couple, like, this is like a silly little side comment, but a handful of podcasts that have been really helpful around like little just like hyper specific things that can, be effective, like time management, or just like um, help with balance, things like that. And there's so many things to do that can make a big difference. But like I said, it's a real, that requires time to like find the things that can help you manage your time. So it's almost like a little bit of a chicken and the egg thing. It's no small feat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, did I cut you off?
oh no, no, no. You're okay.
Um, okay, well, so with that topic aside, a couple questions that we got from the group. So one of the questions I like to ask, I think it's fun at least, is if you could interview someone, not you, like the people in the group, to you, like what would you ask? So a couple of those questions here for you. The first of which being, how did you get into music? You mentioned kind of the Instagram clips early on. Was that the first entry point, or is this like a lifelong endeavor?
No.
How'd you get started?
Yeah. So I have been doing music, or I mean, if we're gonna talk about music, like my first starting point of writing a song, it actually started when I was like little. Like I didn't even start school yet. And I think I started school when I was like 4. So I was probably like 3 or 4, and I would literally make up songs about like being in the corner, and that's my starting point. And I'm Filipino, so with Filipinos comes karaoke, and our whole family's pretty musically, yeah. So they're very musical people. They don't make their own music that I've known of, except for my brother. My brother makes music. His name is Mac Daddy Poma. But there's him. But aside from that, like they would all just sing covers, and it would just be a good time. And it kind of sucks because, sorry, kind of rambling off again, but like music is just like a happy place where my family would just get together. And our family's kind of getting smaller now because some people are passing away, and life. And so that, I mean, music is just home and
Yeah.
family home. So yeah.
Solace. That's really well. I'm sorry to hear about the loss, but on a slightly, I guess, lighter note. But what's your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song when I was little, it was Rubber Ducky. From now, probably anything Christina Aguilera. What is one that's fun? Like Tough Lover from, have you watched Burlesque?
Not in a long time. I know the movie. It's been a long time, but yeah.
Okay, so there's that song that's really fun. Hurt by Christina Aguilera. I think anything Whitney Houston also. I'm kind of all over the place. It depends on my mood for the day. If I want to be a little bit more emotional or a little bit louder and crazy, it depends.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've done karaoke. It's so much fun, but it's been a while. I think COVID, not to sure we're all tired of talking about COVID, but among the many things that put a damper on was definitely karaoke. I haven't haven't done it in a while.
Karaoke's so fun. I love it.
Yeah, it's yeah. Now that we're talking about it, I gotta put that on the list. I'll find a spot. It's overdue for a good karaoke session.
To find some new good places. I only went to like a karaoke bar. Or it wasn't even a bar. It was like at an arcade in Concord.
Okay.
It's like called, oh, Round One. They have like karaoke rooms with the arcade, of course, and like bowling, and it's a good time. It's a really
It's
good time.
never a bad time. It's impossible for it to be a bad time.
Exactly.
Okay, and then so next up again, just questions from the group. What's the most rewarding and what's the most challenging part of being a musician, making music, the kind of the whole musician experience?
The most rewarding part is definitely hearing all the feedback and thoughts and emotions that my music brings to people. So for example, my song Mope Under the Sun that was in I'm in a 20 Mood EP, a lot of people reached out to me and they told me that they're going through a lot of like hardships and they're or like really depressive states, and that song has helped them through that. And so that makes my heart I have like goosebumps, but like that literally makes my heart like melt. And I mean, I feel bad because it's a song about like depression and like, and I feel bad that people are going through that, but I also, and I'm happy that they are listening to my music and can feel something from it and feel better listening to it, but it's not a good song. uh, so I mean, that's the rewarding part of that. What is challenging? I probably have to say my least favorite thing to do for music is recording, probably recording in general. Because I am like a perfectionist and I want things to sound a certain way. And of course, before you get into the studio, you have like an idea of what you want it to sound like. And I mean, it probably won't come out how you want it to sound or how you envisioned it. I mean, it could even come out better than you envisioned it, but yeah, I think recording is my least favorite part, just because I want things to be perfect, and I go back and forth so much about like and them at the studio, I feel so bad for them because they'll edit thing and then I'll be like, can you change this? And I'll have them do it like 10 times literally. And I'll have them like go back to, it'll change back to what they initially had it as, for example. And they're very patient with me.
Well, sorry, I cut you off. I talked over you again.
Oh, it's okay. So that's my least favorite part.
Got it. Yeah. Well, those, I mean, those are great answers. I mean, yeah. To your point on the rewarding part, that's like a real life superpower. You know, the ability to put something out into the world that people really connect with on a individual and personal basis, especially in hard times. Like that's an amazing thing to be able to do. And you're right. Well, of course, you don't want anybody to ever you know suffer or be in that place, right? But your inability to help them in those moments is really really awesome. So cheers. That's amazing. And yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've never been in a recording studio. No one would want to hear what I would record, but yeah, I imagine it's a really iterative process and takes time, time to, you know, find what works and what doesn't. But the attention to detail and the perfectionism you mentioned, it shows in the final product. So, but nevertheless, I imagine that's a challenging aspect of it for sure.
Thank you.
And then the kind of third and final question we pulled from the group here is on a totally different wavelength, but I think a fun one. If you could perform at any festival or event, what would it be?
Coachella. I love
Coachella.
Yes.
You went to Coachella, right? I think we talked about that a little while ago.
I have like a weird obsession with oh gosh, I'm sorry. I have a weird obsession with Coachella. I just love the vibe and the energy everyone has. Oh well, I mean, when I went last time, I had like no energy, but I was still there. I was still having fun, and I love it. I love it so much over there.
That's a good one. That's I've actually never been. Obviously, I've heard amazing things, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe once in your life you can go. I think it's a good experience, at least once.
Just once. Yeah, that'd be a really good one to provide. How big does that get? That's just a random question, but it's one of the bigger ones.
It's definitely one of the bigger ones for sure. And my feet literally get so tired. Oh my gosh. I happened to me like last year too, or what, no, 2 years ago, I think. But this year, I think it was maybe my shoes or something and walking so much, but like my big toe was like numb for like a month or a little over a month.
What?
I was like, what?
Whoa,
I have no feeling in my toes. But it's a lot.
that's wild.
It's yeah, and they have so many different stages and areas, and it's lots of fun, but lots of walking and really hot.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, you've regained feeling in all toes at this point. I take
Uh,
it.
yes, I believe
Okay.
have. I mean, if I like tap on my big toe, there's like one little spot where it's kind of like kind
Wow.
of a little numb, but it's I can feel it.
That's that's not right. All righty. Well, I'm keeping it on the clock. I want to make sure I keep you on schedule for your recovery day. But last question for you is is there anything we should keep an eye out for? Next performances, next projects, anything you want people to keep in mind, and final words, etc.
Oh yeah, sure. I am performing at American Canyon Pride this Saturday. That is June 18th. So there's that performance. Another performance is at the BossCon. It's going to be at the Oakland Coliseum parking lot, which is really cool. That's going to be June 26th. What else do I have going on? I have some singles that I am working on to release. I want to release a holiday song, a couple, so like a Christmas song, and I love Halloween, so I wanted to drop something kind of spooky, but we'll see about that. So that's what I have so far, but
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Well, yeah, a couple. Those would be great performances. I gotta say, I don't hear too many like. Obviously, Christmas songs are certainly popular, but Halloween songs, I don't think there's a ton. At least I feel like I don't come across a ton of Halloween songs. So that's a fun one for sure.
It'll be super fun, a little challenging, but I'm excited. I hope
Well,
it through.
yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. But anyway, with that, all that being said, I think that just about wraps it up. Almost 30 minutes on the dot here, but just wanted to say a quick thank you as well. I know you got a lot going on, and just getting to collaborate has been so much fun. And also, we appreciate your time, and it's a vote of confidence for sure. Like I said, when you got a lot going on, that want to put some time into what we're working on over here too. So thank you. I really really do appreciate it, and look forward to staying in touch, and hope working together, and in the future would be cool too. So good luck with everything you got coming up in the near term.
Thank you. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. I love everything that you're doing, and it's also exciting. It's also I love how interactive and how fun and donating trees. That's so cool. And you got other things going on too. You got work, traveling. It's a lot. I don't know
It's
how
a
you're
lot.
doing.
I would echo, we're just it's a one step at a time kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad the tree thing was
Oh,
cool. I'll make this part quick, but I think one of the things I would like to work on in the future is, like, I want to actually make this site and this project, if it ever stands up on its own two legs, a social impact organization. So I'm like pursuing a lot of partnerships that are kind of in that space, but sometimes I kind of get caught up in the weeds of, like, this is cool to me, I don't know if it's cool to other people as well. So it's just a very helpful sanity check to, like, hear if it resonates with other people, because like I said, it's just me working on this, and sometimes I lose sight of if it's actually compelling. So thank you is
no,
one
I
fast way
thought
to say that.
that was so cool because I've always wanted to do something or release something that has to do. I'm really big on like saving the world and saving the environment. I kind of so I major in animal science, and I take like a lot of like plant science classes too for my major, and I think that's just so important. So thank you so much for.
Totally, yeah. So we definitely donated some trees as part of this project, and yeah, I think the other I kind of mentioned the one premise I have in mind, which is like everything is someone's favorite
Yes.
earlier. The other I think is, again, I'm super biased, but the other one I think is kind of fun is like we're listening to great music and making the world a better place at the same time, even in like our small little way with just a tree or something here and there. Again, I'm super biased, but I think that's kind of a fun one
No,
too. So anyway.
no, you do you. I think that's amazing.
All
Thank
righty. Well,
you.
thank you again for your time. It was awesome to connect. Good luck with everything you got in the works, and yeah, Godspeed.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Catch you later. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. Oops.